Morning all, it's 8:46 in the AM. I'm on my way to pick up Dan from Gerrard's Cross. The famous GC shuffle is happening again. Today's subject, we're going to be looking at what the happened to the high street. What went on? When we were kids, it was this bustling place full of, oh, I don't believe it. And the road's closed again. I mean, this road was closed last time I did this journey, and then it's been reopened for the last week, and now they've closed it again. Unbelievable. That's going to add 10 minutes at least to my journey. Lovely. Sorry, Dan. Looks like I'm going to be late. Anyway, I'm on my way, and when we get to pick him up and we finally get to crack on with this episode, we're going to be talking about the high street, like I mentioned. What happened to it? Why is it like it is? Is it going to survive? Is it actually all right? Let's dig into it.
Hello, mate.
Morning, mate. How you getting on?
Yeah, just got on the train.
Ah, lovely. All right, mate. I'm on my way. I should be there when you arrive.
See you there, mate.
Nice one, mate. See you soon.
Cheers, bye.
Bye. Morning. How you doing? Oh, I bet. Worst days, but not many.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, worse than Tuesday?
Worse than Tuesday? What happened Tuesday?
Well, you're about as cross as I've ever heard you.
Oh, I've had, well,
Oh my God, sorry, what's happened today?
Sat nav print brought me the normal way, and road was closed. And it's like, you know, it gives you a diversion. So I followed the diversion, ended up down a single lane, country lane, which was flooded. And the car in front of me just decided, no, not doing that.
Yeah.
I reckon we could have got through it easily.
Right.
He just started reversing. All right, so today's subject is what the fuck happened to the high street?
Yeah.
Which I thought, the interesting bit from people our age is that we obviously grew up with high streets that were totally functional. In that there was a bunch of nice shops that you liked to go to. There was a bunch of shops you had to go to. And there was banks and post offices and
Yeah.
all that stuff meant that it was a place that you went to regularly.
So, would you go back to that? Are we...
Well, I don't know if you've seen those things online where they play that sort of nostalgic music and they show you like a high street from a town you lived in 30 years ago. It's a bit,
Nostalgic.
well, yeah, it's a bit not too far.
I mean, I've got to be honest, I'm Bank Nat West, and we've still got a branch in the town I live in.
Yeah.
And it's about the only bank in the town.
Yeah, you're lucky, man. There's no banks anywhere anymore.
No. But there are some times where I had to make a sizable transfer.
Yeah.
And I had to pop in and say, you know, they told me how to do it. There's literally a woman sat me. It's like the sort of 80s banks. It's like the old banks, you know.
There's someone sat there.
There's somebody sat there. Yeah. I mean, there's no customers or anything like that. But there's she's really, really helpful. So yeah, high street banks are good. But would you go back to checkbooks and on high street banks and give up your app?
It's a really
banking.
difficult one. I mean, the app thing is great.
Yeah.
All the time, it can do everything you want it to do.
Yeah.
The second there's something you need to do that isn't available on the app, it's really difficult. We had a load of problems not that long ago when we were trying to set up joint accounts and set up a mortgage and stuff. That was annoying. We had to keep going to different banks in different towns, different appointments in different places.
Yeah.
We even had an appointment at a garden centre. They had a mobile banking thing at a garden centre. I'm not joking. They told us to meet them there.
Watch your money grow.
Well, the irony was they told us to meet them there.
Yeah.
They didn't turn up. I was livid.
Yeah.
And now in our town, all the banks are gone, but we have a banking hub.
I saw that actually, yeah.
Yeah, which I haven't tried yet, but from what I understand,
Yeah.
a different day of the week is a different rep from a different bank. Or as you said when I told you last time, it's the same bloke who changes his outfit or puts a different badge on. Could be, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've not had reason to go there yet, which is, I guess, a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, the high street is dead. I mean, the thing for me is it kills you. I mean, it's different where you are, but because it's a very affluent area, but everywhere else it kills pubs and restaurants and, you know, and they all become, I mean, where I live, they're all gambling shops and Turkish barbers.
Yeah. Yeah. That has changed a lot, isn't it? I mean, there's obviously the things like when we were kids, we had Woolworths.
C&A, British Home Stores,
But Woolworths is a really interesting one in that, what did it sell?
It sold penny sweets, records, clothes, basically
Everything.
yeah, everything that Poundland sells now.
Yeah, basically. So I think, you know, we had Woolworths when we were kids, like you say, sold a bit of everything, but there's stuff that you might have to go and get once a week. You might have to go to Woolworths to get something for your house or whatever. And then that went, and then we got like Wilkinson,
Yeah.
and then now that's gone, and now we got like Poundland.
Yeah, it's annoying when everything goes. See, that's a pub. And what is it now? It's a fucking Vets.
Yeah, they've all changed into other things.
That looked like it was a good pub.
Yeah. Yeah, drinking in the high street, that was a big thing. The town I grew up in, the high street was like famous for it. There was loads of pubs. You could go out and spend, you know, half hour in each one. You still probably wouldn't get in them all.
That's it. And now people say, do you want to go out for a coffee? It's like, no. I don't want to go out for a coffee.
Oh, I don't mind going out.
Do you know, I went to, this is the other thing, you get sort of, in villages now, big villages, you get boutique-y coffee shops.
You do.
Sausage and bacon roll.
Yep.
And 2 coffees.
Yep.
One of them obviously was for a girl, so it was an oat milk mocha chocolate latte.
Yeah.
17 quid. 17 quid. And they didn't have ketchup, you had to have like tomato jam. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Do you want tomato jam? Not, have you not got ketchup?
No. Heinz, mate.
No, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, 17 quid.
Yep, that's a bit of an issue. I mean, that's what's happened, isn't it, into a lot of high streets. I mean, the town I live in, we've got some very expensive sort of bakers, some pretty expensive coffee shops.
I go as far as to call them patisseries.
Yeah, I think they do refer to themselves as that kind of thing. Yeah, it's all gone very upmarket.
Well, this is obviously a very active high street.
It's got to be said, this town is a little bit different to me.
Yeah.
You know, there's not many empty shops. They're mostly, but look at them. They're not normal shops either. They're not recognisable. Do you know what I mean? Are they? It's not.
No, they're all what they call
Independent.
independent shops. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not much in the way of recognisable brands. I mean, so you've got Quick Fit, there's Smith's down there. You've got Boots. You've got all the stuff that you would expect. But there's also, and I think this changed ages ago. You can't go into town and buy yourself a new pair of jeans or anything.
Can't you?
Not here.
No. Well, you can't. You have to buy a tweed suit or something like that, don't you, in this town?
I might be able to buy myself a tweed suit or some mountaineering clothes. Then we're covered.
Hertfordshire, yeah.
Yeah, we're covered for that.
Yeah.
But you know, you can't go in. There's no Next. There's no men's clothes shops of any kind. None of that. There's a few boutiques if you want to buy some female attire.
Yeah.
But there's no.
Those days are behind us.
Yeah. Or ahead of us, Dan.
Yes. Yeah.
You just don't know.
Yeah. You never know. Never know. No, you see, we have a large shopping outlet, Vista Village, where I am. And so you can go and buy Armani jeans or fucking, you know, anything you like. Yeah. At that sort of, actually, there's a Diesel shop, there's an All Saints, there's that kind of stuff. Yeah. But it's just full of See you next Tuesdays.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, but we've also got a Nike outlet and a Next.
Yeah.
But the Next stuff doesn't fit me too good. And Nike, you realise they actually, and it's the same with the Village, they manufacture stuff especially for outlet. So it's not the same quality as the stuff that you buy properly. But I've discovered Vinted. We've had this discussion, haven't we?
Vinted is, it can work all right.
Yeah. My poor daughter. Well, it's good. It's recycling, isn't it? Because we've been through that period of, stuff being sold, piled high and sold cheap.
Yep.
Made in Taiwan and where's the Bangladesh, isn't it? Is where a lot of the clothes are manufactured. In sweatshops by kids, and you love it because you get cheap T-shirts and cheap jeans and stuff. So you buy loads of them, and then they all just end up in landfill. So I think this kind of pre-loved craze that seems to be sweeping the nation at the moment is pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah, incidentally, in Northampton, they have a lot of these. They're sort of quite not hippie.
Yeah.
But they actually, people that make clothes themselves sell them out through those outlets and what have you.
Yeah. No, that's good. Hitchin's got a shop like that, H-Town Rags. It sells basically second-hand clothes, but really nicely looked after, very nicely. They're all racked up like in as you would imagine seeing when they were new. So it's not like a jumble sale.
Yeah.
Or like TK Maxx where you're going to need some time to kill to find something if you're going shopping in there.
TK Maxx. What was the other one? Matalan.
Matalan, yeah.
They were the beginning, I guess, of the big sort of superstore.
Yeah.
For clothes, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, that changed years ago, didn't it? You couldn't really go into your average town and do your clothes shop. You had to go to some big shopping centre and find somewhere else for that. But there's not much now I come to the high street for. I can't think of much really. Like boots, maybe sometimes if I've forgotten something in the weekly shop. Toiletries wise, you go to Boots.
Your Sainsbury's is on the high street.
Our Sainsbury's is on the high street, but
to be fair, our Sainsbury's is on the high street. I wonder if that's the thing. The Tesco's is out of town.
It's only like that here because it's a smaller one, and we've actually started shopping in a bigger one in the next town down.
Have you?
Yeah, just
the next town down.
Next town down. It's just a much bigger range. This one is a small one. It's fine. It works, but it's. And it's where you go when you forget something or whatever.
It's fairly well documented, isn't it, the downfall of the town. But again, we've just the other problem is we've just discovered or experienced, or should I say, not discovered, is that you can't park. That's the beauty of having these out of town retail parks.
Pull up and park.
Is that it's built around a car park,
Yeah. That's the American design, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of like put it out of town where the land is cheap, plenty of it, so everyone can park. Yeah, it's definitely. It definitely works from that point of view. And of course the other thing is we've encouraged it by using places like Amazon.
Yeah.
There's not many days where I'm not ordering something.
From Amazon.
It's just...
I have to keep a bit of a check.
Yeah, I think everyone does. I do, I think. But it's really, really useful for stuff like for work. Let's say I need some random cable going from one thing to another thing. In the past, that would have involved driving for miles to find a random shop.
A Maplin.
Yeah, maybe a Maplin, but even they might not have it.
Yeah.
You might have to go to some real specialist shop. It might be miles away, and they still might not have it.
Yeah.
Whereas now, you just go online, type it in, boom, it's in my house the next day.
Yeah.
That is revolutionary.
Yeah.
And because of that, you also get your printer ink there. And you need some pens, you get them there, and whatever.
Yeah.
It's just easier for someone to put it through your
tell you
letterbox.
what, talking about sort of shopping online and stuff, I had to change my cash card. I lost my cash card and cancelled it. I use a sort of online banking things, cancel my cash card.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the amount of subscriptions that are coming up, like you change your card, you need to update. And I must have saved them. I hate to think how much I was spending on random subscriptions of websites and things that I never use. It's like £7 a month there, £8 a month there. Insane.
It's definitely a good tip. Go through your online statements every now and again and just see what you're paying for that you didn't know you were paying for.
No.
Because I've had a few things like that, definitely. But yeah, I've just done that. I've just had to refresh a bunch of my cards because they just knackered. And I don't use them anymore. That's why they're knackered.
I know.
They sit in my back pocket because I pay for everything with my phone. And the cards just snap.
Well, I got worried. In fact, that's exactly what happened. I had this card for ages because I do everything through Apple Pay. But I started to worry because coming in and out of London, and if you lose your phone, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, we had this conversation before. I'm particularly paranoid with that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
In that, well, I have my cards in my pocket, but I also have enough cash always.
You do, that's right, yeah.
And it's a specific amount because my weird brain has decided I need enough money to be able to fly home if I'm stuck somewhere, or get a train home if I'm stuck somewhere, or pay for a meal for two if I'm stuck somewhere, hotel for the night. It's kind of enough money to do that.
All of that.
All of that. And every now and again I have to dip into it and I just top it up.
I don't think I've got enough money to do that in the bank, let alone.
I try not to touch it. And it's annoying that it's there a lot of the time.
Is it?
Yeah, but I just think, what happens?
Yeah.
I turn the internet off one day and I can pay for nothing.
No, well, it's coming.
I mean, it will happen.
There's just been another huge heist from the North Korean government, haven't they? I mean, it was Ether coin, wasn't it? But it was 1.2 billion worth of the biggest heist ever, a virtual heist.
Yeah. Imagine phoning the police with that one. Yeah, someone's stolen all my crypto.
Yeah, who's that? It was North Korea.
Have you got any CCTV of it, sir? No. Wasn't on my Ring doorbell. Welcome to the studio. This is a continuation of episode 7. 7, Dan.
I don't know what we're going to do. What
like
I'm going to do when we get to 11.
Yeah, that's when we stop doing that.
Yeah.
I think we give up on the counting once we get to 11.
I've come in with flip-flops.
No one wants to see your toes.
Yeah, we've had this discussion.
We literally had this discussion about half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I think toes are not a good thing on screen, generally. Unless you're one of those specialist channels that's your thing.
Feet. Yeah.
It's a thing for some people, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Toenail clippings. Yep. Hair.
No one needs to see that.
No, well, whatever floats your boat. Takes all sorts.
It does take a
variety is the spice of life.
Yeah. Toes are best with socks on.
Well,
it's my views.
Yeah.
Anyway, shall we do some news?
Yes, why not?
We kind of have to. I don't want to go down the road again, but he forced our hand on this one. Trump has released a video. Mm-hmm. We're not sure whether he had anything to do with making it.
No.
But he officially posted it.
Endorsed, but on Truth Social. Have you ever been on Truth Social?
Of course I haven't. Why would I?
Do you think there's anybody on it other than Trump? Maybe we should have a look.
I'm scared what would happen if I went on it.
Yeah.
Then the internet will log me as one of those people. No offence to those people.
What, rather than a perv?
I don't want to be one on it. Yeah, I don't care. I'd rather Pornhub knew that I went on their website than Trump knew that I went on it.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny.
Yeah. It's not Pornhub knowing that you've been on Pornhub. You've got to worry about.
Oh, no, that's true. No, I was just using it as an example. Of course, I've never been on anything like that.
No, of course.
No.
Of course. Go on.
He did this video, which we can't play, unfortunately, for copyright reasons, but also for your sanity reasons. And how would you describe it? I mean, it was like a cheesy Euro pop song.
Yeah, it was all AI generated.
All AI generated. Him and Netanyahu sat on sun loungers, topless, drinking cocktails. There was like a 50-foot high golden statue of Trump. And this is supposed to be the new Gaza with golf courses and beaches and, five-star resorts and all. I mean, it's absolutely baffling.
It's insensitive.
Yeah.
It's grotesque.
Yeah.
It's grotesque for two, not just that they want to get rid of all the,
if all you brown people could just do one.
Yeah, then we'll.
So we can,
but just the gold statue, and the by the pool, it's just the most horrific. And then the track was obviously AI generated as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's sort of funny, but not funny at all in many ways, because it's just like, this is actually a war zone.
Yeah.
People are dying there every day.
Yeah. Well, that's how it starts, isn't it?
Ceasefire at the moment and all the rest of it. But that's just the thought that a head of state could in any way endorse that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's... The thing is you live in a world where this sort of stuff, it comes into your life and very quickly disappears. It was a bit shocking for a day. And then and then it's gone again, isn't it?
It's not shocking.
And that's the thing. It doesn't, I mean, it's the digital version of today's news is tomorrow's chip wrapper.
It's exactly that, yeah. Yeah, but it's so much mentalness coming out of that administration that It's like there'll be something else worse in a week.
Well, there was.
You know there will.
2 days or a day or 2 days later, 5 million quid for a gold card.
That was it. See, that's genius.
You know, and he even said, "You want to put my name to it? I suppose I'll let you put my name to it. You know, Trump gold card." And but actual and that's for citizenship, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you get green card rights,
Yep.
privileges as he called them.
Privileges.
But then you look at the comments on the, you know, because you see the reels and the shorts of him saying this, and all the American people are saying, "Can I sell my citizenship for $5 million?"
Yeah. We'll sell it for half price.
Yeah.
You can have it.
Yeah. Horrific. I mean, I don't know. It's beyond sort of comprehension, really.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. Don't really know where to go with it. And today is it that Keir Starmer's over there?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're having a chat.
Yeah.
I mean, how's that going to go?
Well, I was listening to Radio 4 this morning, and he apparently he was very relaxed on his way over there. What are they giving him? I can't remember. Oh, what's the name of the American ambassador? I can't remember. Anyway, but so very. He seemed very relaxed, but it's going to go one or two ways, isn't it? Depending on what mood Trump's in.
Well, he's not going to do the the Love Actually thing, is he? He's not going to stand up to him and say, "Trump, you're mental. Some of your things you're saying are crazy, and we don't want any more to do with you." That's not going to happen, because as much as some people in the UK might want that to happen, that's a bit of a stupid move.
Yeah.
But you've got to kind of reel it in. I did enjoy seeing Trump and Macron have a chat.
Well, yeah.
The bit where he touched his arm and put him straight on the borrowing within Europe, and it was like, you could tell Trump was irritated.
Well, the time this goes out, it'll be
long forgotten.
Yeah, it'll be
something else.
News. Yeah. We should have done a live stream. Maybe that's something we should look at doing.
Maybe at some point in the future.
Yeah.
Too scared.
Yeah.
What can happen live?
But we've decided, haven't we? We're going to put ourselves on a Trump limit. We can't just talk about.
We can't just keep talking about Trump
on the news. But the thing is it's going to happen again next time we film. It's going to come up, and there's going
literally
to be
once a week. There's something pretty big.
Yeah.
Which you need to kind of mention. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's baffling. What else has happened? Has anything else happened?
Oh yeah, BBC sorry for missed opportunities over DJ Tim Westwood's bullying behaviour.
Bullying behaviour is what they call it.
Yeah, it is. But I thought, when I first read it, I thought it was BBC sorry, DJ Tim Westwood had some missed opportunities.
He could have been worse.
He could have been just bullying and sexually abusing. Yeah. But it was just a big culture of those of DJs, girls, and it's.
I never got the Westwood thing. Every time I heard him, it just sounded like one of my mate's older brothers who had just got a little bit too into hip hop. And not realised he was white.
Well, apparently he was quite a big mover and shaker in terms of shaping the culture, certainly in the UK.
Yeah,
but
I met him once.
Did you?
Yeah, I met him at a gig. He was there doing his not DJing. He wasn't DJing. He was MCing.
Yeah,
and I just thought, what a knobhead.
Yeah. Well,
I couldn't help but think, mate, I get it that you've somehow snuck into this culture and made yourself part of it.
He was the sort of rep at Radio 1. You had Fabio and Groove Rider doing the late night drum and bass. Westwood doing the hip hop. Pete Tong, of course, doing this housey kind of stuff. It was quite. They were the sort of electronic music team at Radio 1.
They were, disturbing.
Yeah, but they're now doing. I've seen they're doing like an orchestral thing, like drum and bass classics orchestra. But an MC in Jordans and a baggy t-shirt in front of an orchestra. Just I don't know.
Do you know what I think about this? For me. Fairly regularly, in that obviously I remember when all those sort of big name DJs were turning 40 and now they're in their 50s, not a million miles away from their 60s, some of them, and it's like, how weird is that? That when we were sort of in our 20s and we were looking up to these guys, we were maybe late 20s, and it kind of made sense. But if you'd have someone said, oh, there's this big DJ, he's 58 doing do you want to go? Like, no, of course I don't. No. It's like a Tony Blackburn gig. But,
well, Tony Blackburn's a good.
He's a geezer.
Really.
Yeah, I've met him a few times. He's a nice guy, and he's got a, unblemished track record. He's not a knobhead. Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
Well, he was pals with Jimmy Savile. That's
okay.
You can't call that unblemished, can you?
Not entirely unblemished, but you know what I mean. He's just been he's been a nice guy. By all accounts.
Well, he came from what was the boat? The
Radio Caroline.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so, but it's a good comparison, that, I think.
Yeah.
Of course, drum and bass was a subject on Mastermind recently.
I remember.
Yeah.
There's some good samples on that episode, if I remember right.
Yeah, so there you go. That's...
That was a very, very weird tangent. We skidded off to,
yeah.
but I liked it. Right, okay,
We scud off to.
We scud off to it. Let's do some TV, Dan. What have we been watching?
I've been watching, again,
Yeah.
on my own, because my other half won't watch it,
Yeah.
the Dharma
Oh.
the Dharma drama.
The Dharma drama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrifying.
Oh, my days.
Yeah, I watched it. I found that hard. It was like...
He's so calm. He's so calm.
I think it's the definition of a psychopath.
Well, yeah, it is. But being a murderer is one thing.
Yep.
A serial killer is something else.
Yep.
Drilling holes into alive people's skulls to inject acid to make them into a zombie so you can keep them at home and they'll... I think it's like...
Yeah, it's a whole new level.
It is a whole new level,
Yep. If he'd just stuck to the murdering.
If he, Yeah, could have just... he could have just kept going. Yeah, but... Oh, my goodness. It's...
There was the last nearly victim, the one that got away.
The one that ran away, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, damn, imagine that. Just spending your whole life knowing you were next. You just got away.
Well, the guy who's... he got away. There was a young lad who got away.
Yeah.
And the cops picked him up and took him back. And
Thanks
Jeffrey was like, yeah, he's just my boyfriend, He's not running away. He's just a bit drunk with acid in his head.
Jesus Christ.
It was... So, yeah, I mean, I've been watching that, but like I say, I've been watching it on my own because my other half won't watch it. She watched a couple of episodes with me. She's like, it gave me nightmares.
I understand that because when I watched it, I just thought, I kind of don't ever want to watch that again.
And I tell you what part of it is. It's the fact that both at his house, his grandma's where he lived for a bit, and in the flat, they're all like, what's that smell?
Yeah.
Decaying flesh, and they say at one point in it, it's hardwired in us to be repulsed by that smell.
Good.
And he just goes, well, some of us. And you're like,
yeah.
That's
creepy.
Human head in his fridge, decaying, 3 corpses in that barrel in his bedroom.
Wow.
Skulls in his pant drawer, with the whole, oh dear.
It's not good.
So, sorry to bring it down, but yeah, really enjoying that.
Don't know what that says about you, but I'm glad you're enjoying the serial killer.
I mean, it is literally morbid curiosity, isn't it? Have you got anything to stir with?
There's a screwdriver up there.
I think I went for the screwdriver last time.
Yeah, you did.
I'll do the bloke.
I've just realised this isn't...
I'll do the bloke. Sorry, that's not what I meant.
I've just realised something I watched, which I forgot I watched, which I'll come to what I wrote on my card in a minute. But,
what I wrote down on my card?
It's kind of similar. I watched the O.J. Simpson thing.
Oh,
how good is that documentary?
Yeah.
The weird thing is that I remember watching that live when it was on the TV, the trial and all the rest of it, and obviously the Bronco chase and everything, which was it 94 or something?
I don't know. I can't remember.
A long time ago now, but I remember it all happening. And I remember at the time, that trial, I was so bored of it. I sort of didn't care at the time, but watching the documentary about it now, it's like,
unbelievable. With the glove, and it all hinged on the glove,
and he's just properly, he'd not taken his drugs, hadn't he? So his hand had swollen up. He then had a rubber glove on under it, which nothing will slide over.
That's right, yeah.
And then he's making his hand big. Oh, it won't go on,
And it was that prosecutor, that woman, the lady, the prosecutor, just absolutely, everybody went for it, didn't they? The press.
And then there was the cop who was like incredibly racist.
Yeah.
Whose life was kind of over since then. It was like the whole thing collapsed, even though everyone was like, yeah, he did it. Of course he did it.
Yeah.
I love the fact that there was never anyone else.
I remember my brother said, oh, look, it's that bloke from The Naked Gun.
I mean, how to tank
What was his name with The Naked Gun? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
He was the slapstick guy, wasn't
he? Yeah. He just kept hurting himself constantly, didn't he? Anyway, the thing I wrote down, a film I watched the other night, which I really enjoyed. I've seen it a bunch of times, but I hadn't seen it for a long time.
Nightmare on Elm Street. That's back on Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that for a long time.
Sorry,
no, Gangster Number 1. Have you ever seen Gangster Number 1?
Who's in that?
So, it's set in 2 time periods. So, it's set at the beginning of this gangster's career.
Yeah.
He's played by Paul Bettany. and he basically plays this henchman that's been hired by David Thewlis, who's
henchman that's been hired.
Yeah. And David Thewlis, I don't know how he pronounces his name. He plays this guy called oh man, I can't even remember his name. Anyway, he plays this like main man running a bunch of gangsters, and they're obviously doing protection rackets and all that kind of stuff. And it's all set in the 60s. And Paul Bettany comes in as like his right-hand man. And he's obviously got a screw loose. He's the most violent, over-the-top sort of henchman that he's got. And he's kind of got eyes on the throne kind of thing.
A bit like Joe Pesci.
Similar, yeah. And he basically finds out that there's a plot by a rival gang to bump off the main man. And he basically doesn't tell him. He lets it happen. And then he immediately takes over, becomes the main guy. And then it flips to being set from the 60s into the early 2000s when this came out. It's a modern times kind of thing. And he's this gangster guy in his 60s, still running the firm.
Yeah.
And it does this really cool little sequence where it shows you the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, what he did, all the different rackets he was in when he was in cocaine and robbery and all these things, how he got to where he was. And he thinks this guy's long gone. And it turns out the guy didn't die. He survived and has been in jail. And he comes back. But he doesn't want to be a gangster anymore. He's become an author. He's been in prison. But this guy's paranoid. His whole life is fixated on this guy. And it's all about this meeting again of, it's fascinating. It's really well done. Yeah,
That's
really,
a drama, is it?
Yeah, it's a drama. It's really, really well done. And Paul Bettany and Malcolm McDowell plays him when he's old. I mean, Malcolm McDowell, he's just got one of those faces.
Yeah.
He's such an intense actor. They look quite similar. And it's a really good sort of pairing. But it's a really
worth
good
to watch.
Definitely worth it. Incredibly violent.
I need to take some notes of our own show because
luckily they're on YouTube.
Yes.
So,
are they? Yeah.
You can just watch them again.
Yeah.
But it's a really good cast. So Saffron Burrows, you remember her?
No.
Really, really good female actress who, at that point in time, early 2000s, was in lots of things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I presume she's still going, but fit. Very good actress. She's
worth
in it.
Watching, yeah.
Worth watching. And Jamie Foreman plays like the rival. Who
I don't know who he is either. I'm not doing very well, am I?
You're not? No, Jamie Foreman was
Paul
in
Bettany
Layer
is.
Cake, and he was in a bunch of gangster films in the early 2000s, mainly because his family were gangsters.
Right.
He's from, I think he's something to do with Freddie Foreman, his son or something, some relation. Anyway, but yeah, good film.
Very
Definitely
cool.
worth a watch. Very violent.
Gangster #1.
Don't watch it if you don't like violence because it's horrendous.
Okay.
But yeah, really good.
Good.
So that's TV done.
TV done.
So it's a bit of a change up rather than music, audio, whatever. I thought, have you been anywhere in real life? Actually out?
No.
No, been nowhere. I know that's not true, Dan. Where have you been?
Well, I went to.
Yeah.
Are you gonna answer that?
No.
No. I could tie in music and going out.
Excellent.
Because, like many people, I've got a mother, and Christmas, obviously, buy a perfume or a scarf.
Yep.
And she said this year, for sake, don't buy me perfume or a scarf. So I bought tickets to go and see The Marriage of Figaro.
Blimey.
At the Colosseum in London. So we went out. We had dinner at the Ivy, pre-theatre dinner and drinks. Nice. Yeah, really nice. And then we went to see The Marriage of Figaro, which is, of course, a Mozart opera.
Good.
Got us seats in a box.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, do you know, I was a little bit cautious because I thought, because part of what I did in my research was I was like, how long are these operas?
How many hours have I got to sit there?
Exactly that. How many hours have I got to sit there?
And do I really need binoculars?
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't, unfortunately, because we were right over the orchestra pit. So, this was 3 hours, 20 minutes, which I thought, great. If you've got half an hour break, that means, it's...
Two sleeps.
Two sleeps, beer, sleep. Yeah, sleep, a beer, sleep. But it wasn't. It was 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Wow.
Or 3 hours. Yeah, anyway, the half an hour wasn't included. It's 3 hours and 20 minutes long, plus a half an hour break.
Damn.
So, slight feeling of not dread. Because, I mean, the other thing is, I picked one with there's some greatest hits in there. We all know a bit of Mozart, and...
Greatest hits.
Yeah, there's a few greatest hits in there. You're not just going to be sat there. And of course, I expected it all to be in Italian. But you go into this theatre, and they are amazing.
Yeah.
These proper, you know, old school theatres, built to be, you know, reverberant and acoustically designed, big dome on the top, really impressive looking place, full of people, really quite a big orchestra, but it's all acoustic.
So no radio mics at all,
Nothing.
Wow.
So you sat there and the orchestra strikes up and it's a really good level. And you're thinking, God, you know, when was Mozart alive? You must know this, 200 or 300 years ago?
A couple hundred years ago, I think,
You think, you know, if you'd have gone to a theatre and heard this noise, with, not having had earphones, popular music, you know, speakers and all of it, it would have been absolutely...
it would have been unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Because it still is. You know, the only thing that was mic'd up was a harpsichord, because they do a little bit with the harpsichord. And then they start singing. And it's like, fucking hell. They are so loud. They're so loud. But it was in English, and there's a little box that tells you the story. So that tells you the words, sorry. So... all of a sudden, I was completely entranced by the whole thing, because there's a bit of humour in there as well. There's a bit of romance, there's a bit of drama, and it was absolutely brilliant. And so you spend a bit of a time watching the conductor, because you know. And I realised that basically a conductor is a beat ahead of the orchestra. So he goes, and in you come, you know, and in you come, and he's doing, you know, keeping the sort of tempo going like this, and it was brilliant. It was absolutely, and it was modern, so it's not all, they're not wearing all the wigs and stuff. They're wearing modern day clothing, and it was quite. It was a white box with 5 doors, and that was the only set really. But it moved up when they were upstairs, down when they were downstairs, back, and you were just able to follow the story. It was a really nice volume. The singing, it was impressive. It was so good. It was really, really good. And dinner at the Ivy.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. I've had lunch at the Ivy, never had dinner there.
Have you? Yeah, really, really good. So took my mum out. We went to the Ivy, went to the opera. Nice day out.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's a very upper class night out.
Well, you know me, Sean.
I do. That's why I'm surprised. Normally fish and chips and a pub.
Well, normally skip the fish and chips, to be honest.
Fair point. Yeah. Wow. Pork scratchings.
Pork scratchings. Yeah. Not these days.
No,
What about you?
Well, last Saturday night, for the second time in a few months, we went to a comedy night at Crouch End. In Crouch End, there's a comedy, I think it's the longest running comedy club in the country, downstairs at the King's Head. And I first went there like 20 odd years ago, and it's just a fantastic comedy club. So it's like a basement to a pub, pretty big. I don't know how many people can fit in there, maybe like 100, something like that. It's got its own little bar. You sit right there. You know, you can't get any closer. We're kind of like in the front row. And
did you get picked on?
Do you know what they tried? The first guy, the compere guy, who was really good actually, he came up to me and he went, "You, what's your name?" I told him, "What do you do for a job?" I told him, "Yeah, I haven't got anything." And he moved on. Yeah, I was like, never mind, whatever. But
typical Sean, that is.
Typical Sean.
Yeah, never get picked on.
Oh, you know. Doesn't always go that way.
No.
But
the only person that picks on you is me.
Well, that's true. Yeah, it's true. But no, there was 5 acts. I think you have like 3, then a break, and then another 2. It's really interesting. I go to quite a lot of live comedy, and I've sussed out a phenomenon, which is phenomenon. If ever there is someone of non-white race, they always have a joke or two about that.
Right.
And I don't know if that's trying to get on side with the audience, if it's a mostly white audience. I don't know what it is, but I find it a little bit, you don't need to do that anymore. Well, there was a Chinese guy who was great. He was an American Chinese guy who moved here some years ago. I quite enjoyed him. But he did make quite a lot of jokes about the fact that he was an older Chinese guy. Yeah. And I just think there's no
need for that.
No need for that really anymore. No. The headline guy was a guy, he said he was 88. He might have been. He was old. I couldn't tell if he was actually 88. But someone might know his name. I didn't know his name. But a Jewish guy of American New York descent, I think. He was hilarious. But again, he played on the Jewish thing a lot. Yeah. Which gave him a lot of scope that no one else had. He was making some jokes that were like,
Yeah.
Damn, they're
Well,
close to the bone.
Yeah, I mean, classic Jewish people generally do make Jewish jokes, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah. It was very good. I mean, it's a good night out. You buy a bottle of wine, you sit there, you watch people making you laugh. Yeah, I love it. Really good night out. Really good night out. Only pain in the arse is Crouch End from here is train followed by expensive cab, and then on the way back we got a bus and then another train. It's a bit of a faff.
Faff, yeah.
But worth it.
Cool.
Worth it for a good night out. And we had a nice meal before we went there. We went to this like tapas place in Crouch End as well, which was good. Bit pricey, but good food.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Good night out. But
Because shit comedians are worse than... No, well, they're not, actually. I was going to say shit comedians are worse than shit bands, but they're not.
The worst thing is if you see a comedian who's dying on stage, if it's too small a comedy club, you just feel awkward.
Yeah.
And you wish you weren't there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like seeing a bad band where you just kind of snigger a bit.
Yeah.
And it's still kind of funny.
At least there's 5 of them on stage, not just one.
Yeah. I remember, you might have been there. Someone we know, and I can't remember who it was, had a bachelor party or something. We were doing a gig with a certain artist in Stringfellows.
I do remember that.
Were you there for that?
Yeah, I was, yeah. In fact, we walked past it, obviously, at the when we were in town, Stringfellows. And I was
There you
like,
go.
oh, we did a gig with a certain artist in that.
We did, yeah. And it was a private gig, and they also had a comedian
Yeah.
for this rich dude's bachelor party. And the comedian died on his arse.
Did he?
Yeah, do you not remember? It was so bad. He gave up. He literally said, look, I'm going home. He just didn't get a single laugh. And everyone there was so... like in the vibe, wanted to be made to laugh. He just couldn't do it. He was getting heckled left, right and centre. He literally said, like, I'm going home.
I'm going home, giving up.
It was so awkward. Weird night, that one. We've had a few.
It was a weird night.
That was up there.
Yeah.
One of the weirdest.
Rolling out of Stringfellows, drinking champagne at God knows what time in the morning, way after we should have been there.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah.
Anyway, that brings us neatly to the end of episode 7. Already. So
Good.
do the
'Cause
old...
I need the loo again. Yeah.
What is it they need to do? They need to... Well, you can watch this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. There's there's a whole bunch of stuff.
There is.
Social media stuff. Click on it. Like, follow, subscribe, all that
stuff. That'd be great. We'd really appreciate it.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Okay. Adios.
Adios.
Bye.